Hey trappers, Jason Vance here, Advanced Predator Management. I'm dyeing and waxing my traps today. These traps are my main traps, but I am going to bring these with me to Kansas this fall to do some trapping. I want to catch 1,000 coyotes, so I want to have as many traps with me as possible. And I don't want to change how these traps are set up for when I come back here to Maine to trap eventually in another year or so. And here I just feel more comfortable dyeing and waxing the old school way. So what I'll do is I'm going to show you the process that I do every year when I'm trapping coyotes here in Maine. Okay, so here's the setup. I've used a couple different methods in years past, as far as like a roofing wand, and then this cooker here. I do not like to use wood. I just think these here are a lot faster. They get the water boiling a lot quicker. So that's the process that I use here. As you can see, this is what I use for logwood dye. It says 2 dozen to 3 dozen smaller traps, but what I do is I just fill this up with water, and I'm going to add a little bit more water into here. And like I said, I put 3 of these into this drum and heat it up, and I let them sit overnight a little bit longer. And I think that really helps the traps take on a good black color. So let me add a little bit more water to here, and I'll show you as I put the traps in how I shake them, pull them up and down as I'm putting them in there. That way it gets the water moving all around, and the traps, the old wax comes off really easy in that warm water, and it floats to the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this container, I've already put 2 of these in, as I showed you where the water level was. I'm going to add another, this will be the 3rd pound of logwood dye that I add to this. And all I do is, you take it out of the package, and I just dump it in, try to get as much of it out as possible. And so that was at that level. I'm going to add this one, and then I'm going to put water in, and that helps the logwood dye that's on the top there to get wet, and then I'll end up stirring it. So, and all I do, you just dump it in here, dump that whole 2 pounds. And sometimes what I do is, and what I did in this case here was I had 2 pounds of this brown logwood dye, and then I have some it's like black crystals, so I'll add that to it. It's kind of to mix it up a little bit. I like the black crystals, but it's a lot it's more expensive than the logwood dye. So like I said, 3 pounds of dye to this here, and I can do a couple hundred traps with them, no problem. So I'll add the water here. Okay, so this is what it looks like after I poured the 3rd pound of trap dye in here. It's clumpy and it sits on the top, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another 5-gallon pail of water, pour it in here. That should break it up a little bit more, and then what I'll do is I'll stir it just to make sure that you get all the clumps out. Okay, you can see now, like I've put that other pound in, I poured the water in as you've seen, and by doing that it takes it all down, and I'm just stirring it up to get all the clumps out, but there's not really any clumps in here. And as you can see, those 3 pounds of dye really got this 55-gallon drum of water, a really dark black color. And like I said, the way that I do my process is once this is hot, I'll put it in there, I'll shake each trap, I'll pile them in there. They're all wired. I drape the wire over the edge, and then even while it's still simmering, I can shake it and you can see the wax come to the top. But the key is not to take these traps once you get them hot and boiling. I let them personally set overnight so that it in the morning when this pot cools, or tomorrow afternoon, like I said, when I get back, there'll be a skim of wax over the top of it, and I just take and I skim that off, and I can pull my traps out through this dye without worrying about old contaminated wax that's on the top getting attached to my traps. And then from there I take and spread them out on a tarp, and I start my waxing process. So if you've got time, could you please take a moment and like and subscribe to my channel? It really helps out to get my followers up. I'm over 500, which I appreciate everybody that's already subscribed and likes my videos. Like I said, I'm trying to, my goal this year is 1,000 coyotes, and this is just one step that I got to do to get closer to my goal. So thank you for following, and thank you for watching. What you want to do is you want to go around this pot. Just make sure that you get them evenly spaced so that you can fit as many as possible in here. Like I said, just bounce them up and down, get that water stirring in there. What it does is it brings all that old wax to the top. Like I said, tomorrow morning this pot here will be covered with wax, and you can just scrape it off, throw it away. We'll have nice dye traps. Yeah, just keep bouncing them up there. What I like to do is I like to try to get, I'll put these in here, let them sit for a while, shake them up again, and then I'll add more to it. Just allows the water to get back up to temperature because you're putting those cold traps into this warm dye, and it reduces the heat a little bit. So allow it to warm back up, and then we'll do the process all over again. There you have it, folks. That's the process that I use to dye my traps here. Tomorrow in part 2, I'll go over the waxing part, and you'll see once I take them out of the cooled down dye pot, that you'll see that they come out a nice jet black color. This pot here I'm going to allow to simmer for another 2 hours, just to allow those traps in there to heat up to the temperature of the water. I'll shake them a little bit more, come out and rock the barrel. That just allows all the wax that's kind of melted off to float to the top, and you know, as it cools tomorrow, it'll be easier to scrape the wax off. So I thank you for following, thank you for watching, and for those that haven't already, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell as well. That way you know that the next time I post a video, you'll be aware of it. So again, thank you for following. Jason Vance from Advanced Predator Management. Stay tuned for tomorrow, part 2, waxing.